Hey there, welcome back. Uh-oh. I had this on pause for a few hours. There we go. I was worried it was going to crash. Okay, so we're on this Mind Flayer nautiloid ship. There's pods here, which are the thing that we were just in, and most of them are empty.
Someone else got out.
Someone else got out. And then if you hold down the Alt key, it will show important items, so
Moving
sometimes you have
ahead.
to be a little bit closer. And like, there you go, see the Mind Flayer is showing up now. Whereas when I was back here, right here, it doesn't show up anymore. But then you can see up here, there's a book showing up, so, or a chest. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It's got this convoluted path.
Where are we?
Being one of these dragon races, it's actually one of the more boring races out there. There's not a lot that it does other than having the breath and the resistance thing.
Visions project into your mind. A nautiloid hurtling through the plains, resplendent with psionic energy.
Alright, so, okay. If you pick up, it goes in your inventory. If you pick up and add to wares, it's basically meaning you're marking it for sale. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, 13 gold, which is not a lot, but right now that's 13 more than I think we started the game with. And yeah, now we got to move back down. Now there is, right here you got this jump option, so we can just, that took 1 damage because we jumped a little steep. But you definitely want to search these mind flayers. They usually have something good. Like this thing is worth 65. Right there. The price is 65, so I can't remember if we can sell it for 65 or, you know how some games it's worth 65 but you only sell it for 30. And then of course this is the weight. But 65 is a really good item for this stage of the game.
Good.
And then I've never passed the test on this
The
thing,
pool
but
that thing came from. The parasite now writhing behind your eye.
so investigation is an intelligence check. And of course I was always a character that had low intelligence. And bam, we just smoked that one.
The casing is fragile. The slightest touch could cause it to crumble.
Yep, that'll do it. Alright, so I call your attention to, if you recall, the dude that put those things in our
Odd.
head,
I feel better.
when he was coming through this door here, which is aptly named the Sphincter, there was not a goblin, but instead there were, there's mind flayers that were like laying on the ground already dead. And that was before the Nautilus even came under attack. I keep bringing that up because when I first played this, I didn't realize that. Like, I completely missed it. So here's another one of those.
1,000 years of humanoid history. Elves, dwarves, humans, and more flash behind your eyes.
I don't know what good that does, but anything that belongs to the mind flayers, I'm totally okay with destroying.
Release us.
When they had the beta for a couple years, I probably played this part of the game
Odd.
30 times, and it always bored me.
We are here. Yes, we've come to save us from this place. From this place you'll free us.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please. Before they return. They return a newborn. Born new from this heart.
You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the mind flayers who abducted you.
Remove us from this body. From this case. Free us. Please.
Alright, so we passed our investigation check.
You notice edema, a swelling of the brain causing pressure where it strains against the shell of the skull.
And because we successfully investigated it, we now have advantage, which means we're going to roll 2 dice and it's going to take the better of the 2. And in case you were wondering, this +1 is because we have 12 points of wisdom. And remember, every 2 points above 10 gives you a +1, +2, +3. So we have a 12 wisdom score, so we're getting a +1 to all of our rolls. And then we have proficiency in medicine, so we're getting a +2 from that. So we're getting a total bonus of +3. And then here, they're taking the 3, and then we add 3 more, and we still failed. Which is miserable rolling there. That was horrible. The good news is there's nothing you can do wrong here. I'm probably going to botch this. So I can maybe do...
The swelling is too great. You cannot lift the brain.
So my only option is to destroy the brain now. This is so gross. Alright, so I killed the thing. I've never had to do that before. Interesting. We're gonna run into a few more of these things before it's all said and done. Usually
Doesn't do anything.
usually I can get it out of the skull. And then it's actually like a faithful, like it follows you. So it's actually an ally. But if you upset it, it runs away here underneath this. And then in a future map that we're gonna, a future room that we're gonna go into, it'll actually bring allies to fight you.
This is your end. Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face.
Oh, Skvar, you are no thrall. Vlaakith blesses me this day. Together, we carry mind flayer parasites. Unless we escape, unless we are cleansed, our bodies and within days we will be gay. Mind flayers.
Now sometimes I'm skipping through just to speed it up. But I'll try to be mindful of letting you read. Okay, so we're turning into mind flayers.
We can do nothing until we escape. First, we exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. We will address the matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the...
So we're in one of the hells right now. And we're up against all these imps. So she's a fighter. She's pretty good. I did not play with her in my last playthrough, so we're probably going to add her to our party. This time I was a paladin, like I said, so I didn't necessarily need a fighter and a paladin. But now that I'm being a squishy sorcerer, we probably want a paladin. And so here, let's try out this breath. See, it only goes so far, so we can't be doing that, although I can move closer. And at this point, you just want to take everything you got. And I guess it works. I did only 4 damage. That wasn't that great. That's alright. And then we'll have her go this way. Oh, she has mage hand. I did not know that. That actually changes things quite a bit. She can gain proficiency in skills of a chosen ability. That's also interesting.
This is your end.
Then there's no penalty to looting as you go. No action point penalty or anything like that. So just do it. Okay, a couple of things I didn't explain. So, cantrips are infinite, meaning you can cast them every round, they don't ever run out. And if you click on this, it shows you only your cantrips. So we're good there. And then I think this little X brings us back. We have 2 level 1 spells. That's what this I stands for. That's Roman numeral for level 1. And we have 2 level 1 spells. Now, that means I can cast this one twice, or this one twice, or one of each at this point. But you'll see both of them are highlighted. As I use one, these will start to disappear. Okay? And then we have a bonus action and a green action. We always get to do a green and an orange every single time. So we get to move, which see the little white there? That's where we can move. And it's typically 9 meters. It's a little shorter if you're a smaller character like a dwarf. We get to do a green action, which you can see. So look here in the, see that green action symbol? That shows that that's a green action, and it's also showing that it's going to use up a level 1 spell slot. So when you're looking at the overall screen, that's a green action, and this is a green action plus level 1 spell. This is a cantrip. That one's not. So I mean, it makes, hopefully that's starting to make sense. So I can do a green action and an orange action. So over here, there's green actions as well. So if I do like a main hand attack, which is my quarterstaff, then I won't be able to cast a spell. And then if you go over, there's 3 orange actions here, which you can also do like a jump, a dip, and a shove. Alright, so we took this for whenever we're near people, so we're going to do Shocking Grasp. And down it goes. And just take everything. Everything's worth money. And then yeah, now I can move, I can jump. You can dip your weapon into, you know, like fire, which would make it have like a fire damage bonus. We really don't have many choices there. And I'm gonna go ahead and just move
Need to find a way forward.
towards looting this corp. Oh, I moved too close, and he had, basically I was within his grasp and he had an opportunity attack on me. I got lucky there. I was dumb of me to do. So we're gonna go ahead and hit end. And then yeah, we're gonna go and try to finish this guy off. And boom. Very simple.
You proved surprisingly adequate in battle.
Alright. Everybody, there is no such thing as ammunition. So this is unlimited ammunition, which I'm very grateful for. So as long as you have this equipped, you can shoot. You know, the arrows just are assumed and implied. Not much else to really say in this regard. We now have 2 people in our party, and we're going to make... Oh, she has a bow, so she didn't need that.
Still alive. So that's progress.
And we got a thrall here. I'm just holding down the Alt key, looking around.
Something good here. I hope.
Sometimes you can do certain things. Like, I don't even know what this is. Oh, I guess I can go lay down in the cradle.
With haste.
And then, you know, as you can see, we took some damage. This little thing here will heal you. So we're going to just move on up.
We'll be able to take another dragon attack. We need to get out before it's too late.
So this was a simple robe. I should already... I have a sorcerer robe. They're both armor class 10, so no big advantage there. So now we're going to climb up. The beta version of this ship had like 100 different ways to go. Well, 3 or 4, but I know I'm exaggerating there, but I sort of like the way it is now. It's a lot more straightforward. Okay, so then we come in here, and I've never been like
Knowing its purpose.
smart enough to pass reading these.
Aggression.
So like they're doing like a real quick check. So I failed to read these. These are all personality things for these two guys. This middle one, aggression, is going to make them come to life and attack you. But this one here is death, so we're going to go ahead and just kill them. Just going to take as much stuff as I can. And then we got Shadowheart.
Get me out of this damn thing! We have no time for stragglers.
Okay, did you notice I had I know I picked it real quick, but I had an option that only sorcerers have at their disposal, and
Warding runes. You feel them drawing energy from the console near to the pod.
Are you satisfied? We need to go.
alright. So don't listen to the Githyanki, which might be good advice in all D&D games.
Faint images appear in your mind. A brain, a Githyanki warrior, and centuries of darkness.
Needs a key. A brain in a jar.
Okay, I'm still going through the process of just taking what I can. This reliquary needs a key, and this needs a special item. We got both of them covered. Another thing is you have an inventory screen where you have a little paper doll you can dress up. You have your different proficiencies you can check out here. And then of course you can see some of your character abilities and where your bonuses are. The big thing is the spell book in the middle. These are our 4 cantrips and our 2 spells. And if you were a wizard, you would see all the spells you know here, and then you'd be able to prepare your spell book. But remember, being a sorcerer, these are the only 2 spells in our spell book. Which, speaking of which, I should be casting this. So my AC's up. And then now you can see I only have 1 level 1 spell left.
Here we go.
And I had a chance to fly. That's alright. Alright, so if you come here, you get the key for the reliquary. Then these things, by the way, would attack you.
How many hosts of these gay infected?
This, I don't know.
Dazed woman
What
is
the-
trapped inside the pod.
So basically,
She
you
doesn't
can
notice you.
convert her. I don't know what good it does, but so here you can see I have my 8 mage armor, and so when I click on this, my AC should be higher. Right here, I have a 15. I'm getting a +2 because of my dexterity. So there's a way you can make her turn into a mind flayer. I think you push that button.
As you place your hand on the pod, you hear something. A presence connected to the pod, commanding the person inside.
Change her. Changed at the pull of a lever. How?
To get out of here. Before it's our turn.
And this rune is what we were looking for.
A room. But for what?
And then just pick up some other stuff.
Another brain.
And we're picking up some healing potions. And then there's these little things you can throw that do damage. I'm not a big fan of throwing things, even though that's a big part of the game. I just always forget to.
The
Now if you
newborn
look in,
mind
you can see
flayer
there's a new
stares
mind
at
flayer.
you, weak and dazed.
I don't like these dudes. I really don't. But there's no way to destroy this thing. I should have been a Githyanki, because since I don't like them so much. But I'm sticking to the dragon thing. Alright, so first thing, let's go here. We have a key now. It automatically uses the key. So we got 13 gold and a stone. Then we come here and touch this.
The console appears dormant.
Oh, wow. I could probably do it without even having... See, I have the thing that I can put in the socket, but there's an option here that I don't even need it. I'll try it, just because I've never done that
The
before.
console hums to learn what is its purpose. Will it free the captive, or transform her like that other unfortunate?
Boy, I'm doing pretty well with my rolls here.
The pulsing glow and organic this device is different from the one that caused the other captive to transform. Perhaps it will... Suddenly, you feel a hideous squirming in your head. The parasite. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority.
The only way you can fail is rolling a 1. And you might say, well, you get a +1, Jeff. 1s are automatic fail. They're critical failures.
You feel the biomechanical brain of the console process your command. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel...
Now, one of the things that I thought was interesting is, what if I chose to play as her?
At last.
Who would be in here?
Thought I was done for. I thought that damn thing was going.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts.
You keep dangerous company. Fair point. Let me come with you. We can get off this ship, Shadowheart. It's nothing.
Enough of this chatter. We need to get to the hell.
She's right.
Okay, I know I clicked through that real quick. She went in here to fetch something, and it's this artifact. And, I don't think the game's very shy about it.
Can't afford to stay idle.
Right here it is, the mysterious artifact. So, it's a very important artifact from what I've gathered so far in my play.
Watching me.
We don't fully understand what it is or why it does what it does, but it is important for our story. And so now there's 3 of us.
We're nearing the helm. Once inside, do as I say.
Kanyank.
She sort of cracks me up. I don't know why. I don't really like mean characters in video games, but I sort of like. Shadowheart was my romance, by the way, in my last game. So I've seen a lot more of Shadowheart than I think I was supposed to. And yes, romances are in this game, and they're, in my opinion, they're annoying. And the game is very, I don't know of any other word, it's just very woke. And how flexible those romances can be.
Brawl. Connect the nerves of the transponder. We must escape. Now.
Do it. We will deal with the gate. This thing's falling fast. Got
Okay.
to right it.
So the best thing I advise is loot as you go. We need to get across the field and touch this device up here, which will get us out of this hellish realm. These 2 are super powerful, and they're fighting each other. They more or less will ignore you, unless you're stupid enough to walk right next to them and give them an opportunity attack. And then these little imps are all fair game to kill. So we got Shadowheart going first here. And like I said, just loot as much as you can. And then, boom, attack. So at least got those 3 out of the way. And you can see everything showing up. Now with that attack, you can see her green action is gone. But see, these are orange action spells. So they're level 1 spell slots, but they're not green actions, they're orange. And that's actually very important to understand, because she can attack and cast these spells, which are, in my opinion, that's pretty nice about her as a cleric. Alright, and then we got me here. If you walk through the fire, you do take damage. nothing there. He's too far away. Oh. He wasn't too far away because I could step forward 2 spaces. Alright, and then I'll just finish out my movement. That, by the way, blows up, I believe. Alright, so we did all the looting we could. So I can come up and help there. So I guess I'll do that.
Oh, you brave.
Also, another thing to point out, her sword. So it's a long sword, but it's not necessarily a two-handed sword. So right now, it's saying it's a 1d10, and then you see the 1d8 in parentheses. It's a 1d10 if you hold it in 2 hands. It's a 1d8 if you hold it in just 1 hand. So theoretically, it's 2 damage less for having it in 1 hand. You do get a +3 no matter what. It's, you know, that's where it gets the 4 to 13 damage. And basically, if you're gonna have a shield or whatever, then obviously this will be 4 to 11 damage, and then you have the extra 2 AC from the shield. So that's your trade-off. I do like this system. I like the idea of it basically showing you what a sword does if you're two-handed versus one. It's not like certain swords are two-handed and other swords are one-handed, and you just gotta find the right one. Alright, so I moved up. There's nothing for her to do. So I'm going to switch characters here. I did not prepare properly, so I'm going to have to... You know what? I got Sacred Flame. There we go, it hit. So you can see he's about 10 health down, and he's got a lot more health. Alright, so I'm going to work my way this way. Loot. I can always shoot. But why shoot when I have a cantrip I can shoot every round? And there you go.
I am fury. I am death.
Right. I need to give one of these to Shadowheart. And then let's keep going. This might end up hurting me. Oh, that's right. That spills this mysterious liquid.
On the move.
Oh, now she has 2 of them. So I guess that one I tried to transfer did work. Alright, so I did do the equip, and that used up my green action. So I don't have a green action anymore. But I am gonna... Oh, excuse me. We're gonna dip our weapon in this weird stuff. Oh, not letting me. Never mind. Alright, I can come over here and get this void bulb. It's worth like a whole 1 gold. Yeah, let's do it. Then you can see I'm out of movement points, right? Well, one of the options you have here, we didn't go through all the different actions. These are basic actions you always have. These are your orange basic actions. And then some of these are, for example, that's my racial feature. And then this here is always something you're going to have, even if you're unarmed. Range attack is always something you're going to have as long as you have something that can shoot range. But see this piercing shot? That is a bonus type of action that the weapon gives. And you can see this right here. See, the weapon gives you piercing shot. So if you have this equipped, that will show up here. And then topple, I think, comes from... Excuse me. Topple comes from the quarterstaff. There. Alright. So I can shoot this thing, normal, or I can do what's called a dash, which basically it's just like XCOM if you've ever played that game. Lets me move again, so I get to move double the space. So I can choose to dash, or I can try to frostbolt this guy. Let's try to frostbolt him. I missed him. So there it is.
Fury, I am death. Taking a look.
Alright, so I ran up. I'm gonna go ahead and just shoot. Critical hit for 3 damage. That wasn't any good.
It's now or never.
Alright. So there's 12 turns left to get to our target. In my experience, that is there plenty of turns.
Leave him to me. Connect the transponder.
Ignore the devil. We must take the transponder.
They're telling you to ignore the guy, but if you do, he kills the Flayer for sure. And the Flayer does view us as an ally in this situation.
Time to strike. Worth examining.
I know we're not getting a lot, but every little bit actually does help. Let's see. Yeah, there. Look, this guy, this Mind Flayer's down to 30 health. This guy's at 100.
Worth taking.
Those are just things you can sell. I'm just being greedy. See, I can still shoot at things before they get to us.
Don't waste a step.
Victory awaits. What lies within?
Take this, or Dario will have your head.
Find something useful.
So the guy's still alive, but it's okay. Cleric can hold her own in a battle. That 17 damage was really good. Sometimes I try to kill this guy. I've done this opening scenario at least 6 or 7 times now. You know, just creating different characters and seeing how it feels. I think on turn 9, there's going to be 3 more of these Commander Zulks that are going to show up. They're going to just be called Carrion or something like that. And they're all same hit points. It's not a good day for us. So if you dilly-dally for too long, you are going to get yourself in trouble. But right now, he's down to 12 health, and this guy's got 89. So this guy's going to win. And, you know, for example, this is 3d4 plus 3. And I got 3 charges, so 1, 2, 3. I just did 12 damage. I actually like that for a level 1 spell. I don't know why people don't, but I do. And then, yeah, I could have attacked this. I could have made a run for the transponder, but I'm actually okay with just sitting here.
Victory awaits.
And then here we're going to get our attack in. There you go. And I could theoretically I'm almost there. Cast second wind. Yep, here they come.
Come a little closer.
He just did 12 damage, and then look, he's coming right at me. Yeah, it's not good. Alright, because this thing's a devil, the Sacred Flame actually might do the trick. This is a 4d6 damage. And yeah, it only does 10 damage.
Still on my feet.
And we got our situation here. Don't even hit him.
Time to strike.
And this is where we want to get out of dodge.
The helm's alien transponder. You made it in time.
And so you get caught right before you hit the ground. And this is really where the adventure begins. That last thing was sort of like a tutorial. We're going to be exploring this particular piece of map for hours. Dozens of hours, maybe. Almost all of Act 1 is
You
here.
half expected your memories to return once you were free of the Mind Flayer ship. But your past is still an aching void. If you don't find a way to remove the tadpole burrowed in your brain soon, your future will be as blank as your past. Your head whispers vengeance. You cannot wait to slice your way forth, seeking whatever wrought this tragedy upon you.
Alright, so we do have a journal. Completed quests do show up. We completed Escape the Nautiloid. We rescued the captive, which was basically Shadowheart. And then for a personal quest, be yourself, think dirty thoughts. Special, yes. Special, aren't you? Don't fight it, you know what to do. Take up that knife and do what you do best. And then find a cure. So there we are. And just a quick glance around. You can move the map around without moving your character. The north, south, east, west I am going to use quite a lot because it's real easy to get disoriented in this game. And again, hold down the Alt key to see special things. Now that doesn't mean everything you can interact with highlights, but it does show the important stuff.
Drink in the pungent corpse. Since you awoke on the ship, your mind has been cold and empty, but something stirs. With your hands close to this body, you know nothing of why, but you find a half smile flittering across your face.
There you go, there's a critical miss. So I can't remember last time.
You see flashes of flesh, all lumped together in a mass grave. No single image sticks out. There is something unknown.
So I always wake her, but let's try this. Yeah, you figure as much. And she's probably not going to approve.
What are you doing? I'm alive, yes. And speaking of, how are we alive? I remember the ship. I remember falling. Then nothing.
Okay.
First things first. We need supplies, shelter. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads. We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. One
Right.
thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been
So,
all too easy
see
for
how
you
it
to
says
run
Shadowheart
right
approves?
past my pod. But you didn't.
Those approvals and
I'll remember
disapprovals
that.
are going to be important for, you know, romance and all that other stuff. So if I go to her, you can see this is her approval scale of you. Right now, you're on the she doesn't trust you side, but it moves closer to green the more and more she approves. And then as it moves, your dialogue with her at camp and other things are gonna, you know, change. Also, the camping menu is here. You have 2 short rests. If you're not a 5e rules person, basically, Dungeons and Dragons has a way for you to recover some hit points without doing a full camp. If you do full camp, you have to spend camping supplies, which is like food, and you do have to have food in this game. In the very beginning of the game, it's a little scarce, but by the time I got to Act 2, I had so many food that I was encumbering myself. So I started to camp a lot more liberally and, you know, burn through some of that food. You use at least 40 food a night.
I'll take this way.
All is ash and
Alright.
meat.
And we move up the beach here, and you can see, like for example, these are highlighting, but this barrel has something in it. So don't always just rely on the Alt key. I don't know why the barrel does not highlight, but the other things do. I honestly think it's some kind of overlook on the developer's part. Because this is an example of a patch just laying by itself. And we come over here and you can see there's the fisherman.
Traps, please.
Right, and then I'm going to go ahead and save here. And thanks for watching. Stay awesome.